Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned so much from it, so I want to teach you guys. I am bringing my top tips on acing your first date, and I think in general also making a good first impression. The first tip that I wanted to share with you guys is be attentive, be present, show that this person matters. I know so many people who, let's say they go on a date and of course they're attracted to the person, their life values match, and something about the energy of this person is not for you, but again, they're still a nice person. It's a great muscle to exercise of just being attentive to even a person that might not be for you long term. Who knows, maybe you could be a good friend down the line, maybe he or she could know someone in the future, and you're not looking for something to get from someone. You can date much easier, and again, it's about not having high expectations of being entertained. I think that it's a two-way street. It is so good to listen, and I talk about that, listening attentively and asking active questions. Looking at this person like a book, like a story. He has something to bring to the table. And it's so important to put this person first. And again, if they have the same mindset of putting you first, you can have a balanced conversation and be heard and be seen. But again, I think it's important to initiate that. So I started, for example, doing that. And I remember I went on a date like 2 years ago. I wanted to bring some examples while I bring these tips, because I think it's important to show you from personal experience how they worked. So when I went out with this guy, in the beginning, I actually was starving. I didn't get a chance to eat yet, it happens. And he just wanted to go for drinks. And of course I spoke up, I didn't want to be starving for the next 2 hours. And again, if you are going out with someone, you have to be hungry. It is not... You should never be afraid to ask, and if you are, I feel like it's so important to, again, your needs come up, just voice that. The person can't be flexible when these kind of things come up. I think it could be a red flag. And I told him, I'm really sorry, but I'm so hungry, could we like grab something to eat? He got very annoyed with that, and I kind of felt like a burden. This is the time where I wanted to speak up, like if I'm not comfortable with something, or if I'm starving, I will say so. And we ended up going out to eat, and I still was kind, and still was curious about him, and ask them questions, and I'm very into like if someone is not so happy, try to warm them up. Rub off your kindness. It's a good muscle to exercise. And while we're speaking midway supper, he kind of loosened up, and he's like, I guess he realized that it's not the end of the world, and this kind of things happen. And then at the end, he wanted to go out again, and he enjoyed himself a lot, but I just couldn't get past that character, and it was good. I saw that when I did voice that I was hungry. You will never go wrong with being attentive and using that muscle. You will get more out of it. Period. Always be the one giving your attention. I think that's so important. So, 1. 2, I wanted to share is that reveal a passion of yours. This past week, I was attending to my vegetable garden. I like to grow some vegetables, like whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm someone that actually does what I love, so I have my own fashion line, so I love being creative, but again, I also love just like going around the city or discovering new places or travel. I feel that it's so important to reveal the depth of you, even if it's on the first date, just touching a little bit of the things that are interesting about you. And sometimes people are worried because they don't have a passion. I feel that's also a little bit of a red flag. Find something that interests you. Don't put the weight on someone else making something interesting for you, or maybe relying on someone to make you feel validated. Validate yourself. Find things that you enjoy. It is so important to find hobbies and things that interest you. So whatever it is, go out in the world. See what you are attracted to, and again, share that with the new people that you meet. It makes you a more interesting person. So yes, I think that's really, really important. Number 3 is be quirky, be imperfect, laugh at yourself. Many people are so like straitjacket when it comes to dating, and I feel like dating shouldn't be taken seriously in the matter of not being perfect. It's not about being perfect. The more quirky you are in an interesting way, the better. Like it could be, for example, let's say you're walking and then you fall over by mistake, like like just laugh it off. You make a joke about it and be like, oh my god, I'm so smooth, like tell me about it, so smooth. Like whatever it is, try to make light of a situation. If something happens and that you couldn't control, laugh it off. It raises your attraction when you can laugh at something that you messed up on, or something that you spilled, or whatever the case may be. It is so important. And again, on the flip side, if someone can't laugh and the whole time he's rigid, I think it's something that it's a little bit of a red flag. They take these things too seriously, or maybe he's nervous. But even people who are nervous, it's even better than actually trying to be stone cold and not showing emotion. It's so important to show some emotion. I think it's important to disagree at least on one thing. If there's a few things that are different about both of you, that makes you even more attracted to each other, because you know that you can hold your own opinion and they can, and you can still agree to disagree on some things. But it's so important also to see how the other person takes. Maybe if you disagree with something in a nice manner, obviously, your feminine energy, saying it warmly. But there's so many times where I know people go on dates, or I've also been guilty of that, where something I didn't agree with and I just agreed with to be pleasant. It's a push and pull. That's so important also in dating when you're meeting someone, that you're not just agreeing with everything they say. Again, there's other points I'm going to bring up that you can always compliment, and this is the push and pull. You're complimenting, you like things about them, but again, there's also your own opinions, your own way of thinking, your own passions that just have this combination is so important in dating, in your first few dates. The next tip is giving things in general. I feel that it's always like a known thing that the guy is going to pay for your drink, the guy is going to open the door if they do, or open the door in the restaurant. I think it's so important to take a second, actually acknowledge, like, thank you for that drink, it was so good, thank you for the recommendation, if he did give one, thank you for opening the door, that's so sweet. Just taking that second, it's so nice to be acknowledged. I think that's so, so important. If you add that in, it really changes things, to be appreciated. The last one is initiating a compliment, especially as a woman. I think it's so important. If I compliment a guy, I can't because I'm a woman and only it has to come from him. You're a woman who's confident, who's secure, and again, I think you should be dating when you feel that way, when you feel confident in who you are. It's so important to compliment on something that's of substance. You're getting to know the guy, and then there's something that he's passionate about, or work, or something that seemed hard, and you compliment like, wow, you have such dedication, or you have such an eye for this kind of whatever it is that he was talking about. Taking that time and telling him, wow, this is very impressive. I think it's so important. The same thing if you're at the end of the day, even if you had a good time but he's not for it, you can still say, hey, had a good time, thanks again for the drinks, thanks again for supper, I really appreciated that, and I really hope that you have a good week. It's so important, I think, to verbalize that. I think we should do that more often. Shouldn't always be on the guy, and he'll see that you're a girl that, again, that can be vulnerable sometimes and just have an open heart to say these things. I know many girls sometimes who go out and they don't express any of this, even though they're thinking about it inside because it's a first date, and what if he says no to me? Be a mensch. Again, I think it only gets you good, only. So yes, I hope these tips helped you, and again, if you implement a few of them, it's going to make a big difference. And again, dating is all about, again, letting it go, being chilled, and doing whatever it is on your part to make the person feel comfortable. And I think if both people came into dates like this, dating would be much more enjoyable. And again, if the guy's not for you, if the girl's not for you, you can exercise that muscle of just being, again, a mensch and being just a nice, warm, caring person no matter what the circumstance. I think it's all about that. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which tip is your favorite in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.